round 25 of the regular season in the Betfred Championship, and we're under the lights tonight in the northeast of Newcastle for the Newcastle Thunder, rock bottom and heading down against the confirmed League Leaders Shield winners, Featherstone Rovers. Still plenty up for grabs, top spot secured, but Rovers want to hit the ground running for the playoff series. It's Newcastle Thunder against Featherstone Rovers. James, 3 regular season games to go, starting here tonight at Newcastle. What do you want to see from the players?
I want to see us improve from last week. We've agreed 3 improvement areas, what we've been working on, and I want to see us go after it and obviously come away with the points, but come away feeling more confident, or not more confident, but feeling that we're improving.
Team selection wise, it's an interesting lineup, bags of experience, bags of quality as well, but you've shuffled the pack a bit. What's the thinking behind it?
Well, we learned some key lessons from playing at Sheffield on their 3G. You know, we had a couple of boys who pulled up really sore after it, and because of the investment the club's made in the squad, we're in a position to look after those blokes. And there's a couple of players who've got little niggles. So obviously we've won the league. That's one objective ticked off, but we've still got the main objective to tick off, and that's make the grand final and win the grand final. So the changes I've made today, I believe, are in best interest of us achieving that goal.
And a word on your opponents. You'll obviously know Chris Thorman pretty well. He's got a big task on here. Newcastle, rock bottom of the Championship, but they can still be a danger on their home turf. Absolutely.
If you look at the results at home, they've been fairly strong. They've lost 32-38 to Sheffield. They're in the game in the last couple of minutes against York here. 24-16 last week against Toulouse here until the last 3 or 4 minutes. So they move the ball really well. You know, it's a quick surface with it being a 3G, so I'm sure they'll try and move us around and challenge us on the edges. But we're looking forward to the challenge, and I'm confident we'll take the points home.
Cheers, James. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. Beautiful Newcastle evening with 3 regular rounds to go in a compelling Betfred Championship season. The league leaders are in town. Featherstone Rovers, freshly crowned, secure in top spot, take on Chris Thorman's rock bottom Newcastle tonight, looking to preserve form and fitness and gather some momentum heading into the finals series.
Right then, folks, we are moments away from
the team's poised. Here come Featherstone Rovers, announced as League Leaders Shield winners for the first time, led out tonight by Matty Wildy, with James Lockwood having not made the trip to the northeast. A few changes, 3 changes, a few positional changes, crucially 2, as Rovers in their away shirts, predominantly red with the navy trim, navy shorts and red socks. And here come Newcastle in their purple and gold. Their head coach Chris Thorman, local lad, makes his way up the main stand to sit alongside us. A tough first season in the job for Chris here at Kingston Park, heading back down into League One. It's going to be Rovers to get us underway. Craig Hall has the kicking tee. It's Hall and Gale on the wings tonight. Caleb Akins is the fullback. Mark Carella will be used off the bench. And how about the centres tonight? Ellis Longstaff and Connor Jones. Longstaff, I thought, was terrific in the back row at Bradford last weekend. Now we get a look at Longstaff in the centres with Connor Jones, who's played there a few times. But he played, if memory serves, a long stint in the centres here last season under Brian McDermott. It's Newcastle with first feel of the football. The rest of that side, by the way, Lacan and Chisholm the halves tonight. The pack, Kopchak, Wildy and Kozar. And then it's Brad Day, Elijah Taylor and Dan Smith. The bench, Carella, Davis, Moores and Gadwin Springer. And great to see Jonathan Ford back fit. He's travelled, he's kitted up. He is 18th man tonight, Jono Ford. And here come Newcastle. Good drive up towards halfway from Ted Chaplow. The Chaplows in the front row, Jay and Ted. And they're over halfway here, the Thunder. Aggressive start from the hosts. running at Matty Wildy and Dan Smith. They're into the Rovers 40. Last tackle, says the referee. So we go long from Nico Williams, well watched by Caleb Akins, who's been excellent in the halves since the return from injury of Mark Corella, but he's back at fullback tonight with Corella, I'm sure, used as a utility off the bench. Gareth Gale, Rovers' top try scorer, with an early carry off his left wing. And there goes Craig Hall, popping up down the middle too. His bright orange boots, darkening skies here in the northeast as Smith promotes to Thomas Lacan. Great to see Thomas back in the starting side. And Rovers looking to get over halfway here with Smith off the short ball from Wildy. Crashes to the ground. Last tackle. Rovers have made it just beyond halfway. What's the kick going to be like? It's going to be Lacan. Goes high off the right boot. Good kick pressure. It's going to bounce once, twice, and go dead out of the back. So disappointing end to the set for Rovers, and Newcastle with a spring in their step start their second set with Gideon Boafo off his wing. Encouraging start for the home side. Under the lights on a Friday night at Newcastle Thunder. Good line speed from Kopchak and Mathieu Koza, who's starting in the front row tonight, the Frenchman. Brad Day there in the tackle too. Newcastle moving it to this near right-hand side. And again, they're up to halfway and over halfway. Wildy, Kopchak and Connor Jones in the tackle. Couple to go this set. Swept in field by Curtis Davis. Williams promotes, then popped back in field by Deneve Bumforth. You can hear the Rovers defence barking instructions as Newcastle break through again. 30 away, last tackle. Nico Williams holding back. They go the other way though, left side. It's up off the outside of Bumforth's right boot. Akins scuttles over. Well, look where Rovers are going to have to start, inside their own 20. Another good set from the hosts. Longstaff playing centre tonight. Interesting to see how he goes. Oh, it's a loose one. It's gone backwards, says the referee. Craig Hall getting a bit carried away from dummy half. Here's Kopchak. Oh, penalty. Pressure relieving penalty for Rovers with the hosts offside. Featherstone were under the cosh there. Dane Chisholm finds the roof of this stand. Still bouncing. Jones taps on halfway with Chisholm. First receiver inside him, and then big Craig Kopchak takes it on. Wildy from a slow play waits, feeds Koza. Rovers looking to speed things up. Elijah Taylor was in there too, and then sprints back over to the right side. Wildy instead comes left, gives it Dan Smith. Chisholm pops it up and says to Brad Day, have a go. Day, who had a season here, of course. He's back in a Rovers shirt this year, having spent the season here in Newcastle. That was good as Smith crashes in. 10 away under the post. Wildy goes right. Lacan spins a ball wide to Longstaff, who's wrapped up. Newcastle read that well. It's the last tackle. They're 5 metres away right side with Wildy. He's going to go for the short side play. He's going to get another set here is Wildy. There was a Newcastle hand on the last. That's gone to ground. Wildy had a little look. Thought Newcastle was short. And it's going to get his side another set of 6. In front of the post here. Big weekend up in Newcastle. Great North Run weekend too. One of the highlights of the running calendar in the United Kingdom. Terrific event. Newcastle will be bursting at the seams Saturday, Sunday for that. Featherstone Rovers here on a Friday night looking to get the job done. Wildy from the scrum. Chisholm reads it and delays beautifully to Caleb Akins, and Gareth Gale's in. Beautifully worked right from the scrum. Akins hit the line perfectly. Could have probably got himself. Popped it up to Gareth Gale, who had a stroll. And Rovers' top scorer opens his account tonight. Gale at the corner. Rovers leading by 4 points to 0 with a kick to come. Gale with the score. And it's going to be Craig Hall with the kicking tee tonight. He's on 98 points for the season, and he's got a very difficult one to try and hit his century. 26 for the season for Gareth Gale. And Craig Hall, a couple of metres in from this near touchline. He's taken it back 21, 22 metres. Oh, and he's kicked an absolute beauty. Flags are up. Rovers fans on the far side who've made the long trip like that. Craig Hall goes to 100 points for him for the season, and Rovers have a 6-0 lead with 9 minutes on the clock. And that was off the back of that penalty. Newcastle starting well, but the penalty allowed Dane Chisholm to piggyback up the pitch, and Rovers did the rest. So Newcastle get us back underway with Rovers leading 6-0. Taken out of the air by Tom Alakan and popped straight up to the big man Craig Kopczak, who charges up to the 20. Wildy. Oh, lost by Gareth Gale. It was a loose carry, and it's picked up by the Thunder. They could almost go all the distance here. They're only 20 away. What a chance to come up with an immediate response here. They're right under the post, courtesy of that knock-on from the try scorer Gale. Can Thunder find a way through? They're going to work it left side. Ball forth, and then a change of direction back inside, straightening up towards the line. More goal line defence for Rovers to do here. Dane Chisholm flying out the line, had to get there, he did. Good decision in the end from the Rovers half-back. Still 10 away, right in front of the post. Nical Williams, half-back to half-back, taken on by Bournemouth. Last tackle, 5 away left side. Newcastle, can they find a way through this Rovers defence? It's a kick towards the post, looks too strong and is. Needed a ricochet, and Rovers survive. And they want a quick tap with Connor Jones here. And they get the quick tap, and he's off. Connor Jones has pace to burn, or the referee wasn't happy. He wants him to go back. It's the Rovers fans frustrated with that call. Connor Jones hit the board running there. And I think actually what's happened is he's tapped it on the wrong line. He's tapped it on the football marking rather than the rugby marking, Connor. And that's why he's been brought back. So no quick tap. Rovers instead start with the Koza. And a big hit coming his way, just about stepped out of it. Wildy on his 30. Smith seeing a lot of the ball early. Little dummy from Dane Chisholm, taken on by Connor Jones. Looks like he's relishing this start at left centre. Interesting to see what that means off the bench. Will Matty Wildy play the full 80? Will Mark Carella get a spell at 9 perhaps? Or in the centres? Kopczak over halfway. Bursting through the tackle of Paddy Burns. Wildy has a look. A little glance right, comes back left, finds Dane Chisholm. Brad Day hits the line. No look pass from Chisholm, well read by Newcastle. Last tackle, 30 out, just to the left. Wildy. It's going to be Chisholm to kick down the touchline. He goes back in field off the outside of his right boot. Finds a nice spot in the corner. It's an error from Alex Donaghy, the Newcastle fullback. He got there, but inexplicably he's put the ball down and into touch. So an unforced error at the end of the set from the hosts gives another great opportunity for Rovers to double their advantage here. It's going to be Kopczak to play, and Wildy already up and running. Koza takes it on. Elijah Taylor lurking out to his right. That's where Wildy's looking at the moment. And then ET slots into the line. It's all taking a bit too long, this. Go behind Kopczak to Lacan. Dan Smith has got a head of steam up. And the referee says no, crossing. Penalty against Rovers. And that one doesn't click, and Newcastle will get the ball back. So that attack comes to nothing. As always on FRTV, do let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always great to hear from you. I'll make sure to give you a shout tonight during our coverage. Some of you saying there's a bit of interference on the sound. Out of my hands, I'm afraid, but I'll hopefully get someone to have a look at that who knows a bit more than me. Hopefully you can hear me calling the game. Here come Newcastle over halfway. Again, apologies for the quality of the sound. We'll try and get that fixed. Penalty to Newcastle. And I think Dane Chisholm has just been sent to the bin here. So 10 minutes in the sin bin for Dane Chisholm. Rovers leading 6 points to 0. Once again, apologies if the early part of this game suffered a few sound issues. Beyond my control, I'm afraid. Well, hopefully, it may even have enhanced my commentary, you never know. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear anyway. What you may have missed is Gareth Gale's 26th try of the season. 6-0 is the Rovers' lead. Dane Chisholm's just gone into the bin here. And Newcastle have had their moments. Here's another one. Appears our sound issues have been resolved just in time for a Newcastle assault on the Rovers' line here. They're right in front with Paddy Burns, and they've got the ball away. They're going to be through the gap. Oh, they've knocked on the line. That was a try for Newcastle, and somehow they put it down. That was a big error. It was promoted. I thought one too many there. Newcastle looked like they were in, went for an extra pass, and it's gone to ground. And Rovers have survived. Leading 6 points to 0. There was a chance for a second try, but they settle for Gareth Gale's try in the corner. Beautifully worked from the base of the scrum, right in front of the sticks. It was Akins with the carry. He could have probably got himself, but popped it up for Gareth Gale to walk in unopposed. And Craig Hall kicked a beauty from the touchline. His 99th and 100th points of the season. And that's the difference between the two sides. We're around about 16 minutes or so into the evening on FRTV. We're live in Newcastle tonight, under the lights. Do let us know, as always, where you are tuning in from. Great to have your company. And it's the fun stuff, isn't it? It's the business end of the season. All of these games are huge now. Rovers want to improve and gather momentum with every game, and of course, not pick up any injuries. Lacan back in the side, goes high. Taken on the full by fullback Alex Donaghy. Hello to our friend Nigel Bannister, who couldn't make it tonight, who is at home in warm Harrogate. Hello, Nige, to your dad, Derek, and family friends, Josie and Barbara. Great commentary again, says Nigel. Thank you, mate. Let's hope the Tigers lose and the Wildcats win up the Rovers. Great to hear from you, Nigel. Great to hear from all of you tonight. We're nothing without your support on FRTV. It's been another great year. And it's been a pleasure, as always, to bring you the games. Thank you to Mark. The sound is sorted. Yes, it is. I'm pleased to say, Mark, our best tech experts on the case. Or expert singular. Our man Jamie sorting out the problems. We did, while we were doing that, miss a sin bin for Dane Chisholm. So we are watching Rovers with 12 at the moment while we were unplugging cables up in the main stand here at Kingston Park. But hello, Mark Ashton. Thank you from the Linthwaite 1 up the Rovers. And hi to Kieran. Strong Rover start, but could do without the sin bin. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And apologies again to Liam and to Vicky and to Matt, who reported the issues with the sound. But we're glad you did, otherwise we wouldn't have known and we wouldn't have been able to get it fixed. And hey, you only missed one try. 6-0 Rovers, approaching the midway point of the first half here. Wildy in his bright orange boots. Oh, Craig Kopchak with a dummy. And then he looks for support and Wildy was slow getting there and then knocks on. Vintage Kopchak. And he slots back into the line, does Kopp. He says, come on, you can't get the staff, can you? But Newcastle have come to play as well. They know that their stay in the Betfred Championship is going to end with relegation, but they've come here to play top against bottom tonight. A reminder, Rovers have got Toulouse in the south of France next weekend, and a reminder, do come and join me. We have been granted permission to screen the match live in the clubhouse, so I'll be on hand with special guests to call the game from the clubhouse, and we'll do a bit of Q&A with the non-playing players before and after, so that should be a good do in the bar. Make sure you join us next weekend. But you might have to get tickets for that, I'm told, so make sure you do book in advance, because we've only got a certain number. I think we've only got a certain area we can work with, so make sure you get a ticket for that. It'll be a good night. Hope to see you there. And then we've got Widnes, final home game of the regular season, where we'll get the League Leaders Shield, so we'll want to see you for that as well. And then we've got the big stuff, hopefully 2 home games, semi and final. Let's see. Anyway, Rovers have got a penalty. They're down to 12, leading 6-0. You see Gadwin Springer out there, so he's in off the bench. Who's gone off? Kopchak, I would presume. Yeah, looks like Craig Kopchak's gone off. And Rovers hoof up to the 40. Six again, says the referee. Gareth Gale takes a drive. Connor Jones pushed out of the way at dummy half by Brad Day. Thomas Lacan looking to impress tonight, having lost his place in the halves. And Gadwin Springer with his first carry. It's a good one. Rovers in a central position, a 25 or so away with Wildy. It's Dan Smith again, who's been very efficient in the pack this season for Rovers. Wildy right under the post here. 20 out, goes right, finds Tom Alakan, who steps back inside. Lacan still going, offloads. Can Koza get there? He's going to be drowned. Great defending, but he's offloaded on the floor. Is it picked up cleanly? It is. The attack continues. Longstaff did well. Hall, Lacan runs into a cul-de-sac there, and then it's Elijah Taylor. ET still going. Couple to go this set. Rovers right in the right corner. Back they come with Lacan. Gadwin Springer lurking, so is Dan Smith centrally. Smith gives it to Wildy. This looks good. Aikens gives it to Jones, and Gareth Gale's going to get his second. What a try that is. Perfectly worked right to left. The timing was spot on, and that combination with Jones, Aikens, and then Gareth Gale, who has both tries for Rovers, and they go 10 clear. Gareth Gale's got 8 of them. It's Thunder 0, Rovers 10. And Gareth Gale is enjoying his trip to the northeast. And that was a really nicely worked try. Craig Hall, this one is about 10 metres in from this near touchline. He's taking it right on the join of the 20-metre line. But he kicked a beauty from the touchline. Here he comes again, Craig Hall. Oh, he's kicked another cracker. He's brought the kicking boots tonight, Craig Hall. Didn't even have to look at that. He knew as soon as he kicked it was over. Craig Hall finding form with a kicking tee, and Rovers now have a 12-0 stranglehold. 2 tries from Gareth Gale, both converted expertly from Craig Hall. And twice Newcastle being caught down their right defensive edge. Slick ball movement, which I'm sure will delight James Ford. And Gareth Gale needs no invitation to finish in the corner. Thunder restart again with Alex Donaghy wearing 6, but playing fullback, and here comes Gadwin Springer. The big man takes some stopping. Wildy. Will we see a purple patch now against the purple shirts from the men in red and navy? And that try was scored with 12 men on the pitch, Dane Chisholm in the bin. I think he'll be returning imminently. I haven't been timing it. It feels like he should be back on soon. Wildy. You can probably hear the referee yelling, saying you're offside again to Newcastle. They didn't heed the warning, so he blows his whistle. Not helping themselves, the hosts here. Tom Alacan will hoof into touch. In fact, he won't, because Dane Chisholm has crept back on, so he will take over. Straight back on the pitch and then kicks for the corner. Rovers back to a full 13. Gareth Gale already on a hat-trick. Once scored 6 in a game against Newcastle, I recall. And this looks good for Rovers, seeking a third, and right through the gap. There will be one. It's Kozar, is it over the line? Looks like he's got there. That was another perfectly timed run, and Rovers have their third. And again, right off the back of the penalty, Mathieu Kozar makes Newcastle pay. And this will give Craig Hall a far easier effort at goal. He's kicked 2 from the touchline. And he's got one now bang in front. And the signs are this could end up being a very difficult night for the hosts. Craig Hall from bang in front to give Rovers an 18 points to 0 lead. No mistake. Into the empty terraces to our left. And Rovers with 3 converted tries lead 18-0 after 27 minutes. Another Rovers interchange, far side. I can see Junior Moores coming on. Dan Smith gets a breather.
Exchange for the Newcastle Thunder in the field number 15. Ted Chapelhouse coming on in his place number 40. Evan Simons.
And you could probably hear that home sides have made a change as well. Evan Simons on for Chaplow. Here comes Gadwin Springer. Like a bowling ball scattering the skittles and getting his side a penalty. High shot, the referee. Well, the assistant on the far side's given that. If you're going high on Gadwin, you're going very high. Rovers fine touch onto the roof of the pavilion stand on the far side. And here comes Junior Moores with his first carry of the night, with Wildy waiting behind him. 18-0 Rovers. Do keep dropping your messages. Find me on whatever it's called now, X, Twitter. Here is Chisholm and Akins. Back inside and taking the tackle, 22 out, left side Akins. Gareth Gale wants this from dummy half and his lime green boots. He's on a hat-trick and he's running right at the post here, Gareth Gale. They're 10 away, Rovers, just to the left of the sticks with Wildy. Back inside, taken on by Moores and then Springer clattering into the defensive line. This is the last. Right on the line. Wildy, can he force another one? Loops one up to Chisholm, he's going to kick towards Gale. Gale takes. Oh, he might get the ball down here. Gareth Gale scored his hat-trick, has he? He has. He had no right to. He plucked it out of the air, fell on his back, and then said, if you're not going to tackle me, I'll score. And Gale has a hat-trick. Fourth try of the night. And a third for Gareth Gale. And that was very, very soft indeed. Hello to Mark, asking, will the Toulouse game be on Rovers TV? Keep up the good work. It will be streamed in the clubhouse, but I think that's the only way you're going to be able to watch it, I'm being told, Mark. So you might get audio commentary, but not the visuals. I'm reliably informed, but the replay of the game will be up there. I think there's various boring reasons for that, but I'll be able to bring you the game live in the bar, but it'll just be my voice if you can't make it to the bar, if that makes sense. Unless you can wait and watch it a day afterwards and it'll be there. Craig Hall has just pulled this one left, so 3 of 4. 22-0. Hello to Helen, who's listening in Cas Vegas. Good not to get there tonight, she says, but cheering the boys on. Sat in the garden. Please give my husband Darren Grace a shout out after a warm week of nights driving a lorry. Good stuff, Darren. And hello, Helen. Hope you both have a great night. And it looks like Rovers are going to do the business at the moment. Great start. Half an hour or so gone. 22-0. Hat-trick already for Gareth Gale. Mathieu Kozat charging through in between. Caleb Akins playing fullback tonight, plucks it out of the sky, and Rovers running already. Dane Chisholm, who should be fresh, he's had 10 minutes in the sin bin. And he's back out there now. Here's Wildy, short ball to Gadwin Springer, who's made a big impact off the bench, as you would expect. Wildy, Davis, who's on. And there goes Junior Moores. Rovers just over halfway with Matty Wildy starting at 9 tonight. Connor Jones, if you missed us with the team earlier on, playing in the centres. The two centres tonight, left centre Connor Jones, right centre Ellis Longstaff. So far so good. Last tackle, Chisholm goes high, kicking from about 40 out. Fullback should take a clean one here, he does. Connor Jones leads the chase, Brad Day there as well. Newcastle will start about 20 from their own posts. They started okay, Newcastle, but their discipline has let them down. And Rovers have just got better and better as the halves progressed. That was a big contact. Picked up but dumped on the horizontal, so no penalty given. It's the last tackle. Newcastle made it to 40. Mikael Williams having a bit of a look, and he's picked a gap in between fullback and wing. Gareth Gale leaves it for Caleb Akins, who picks it up and gives it back to Gareth Gale, says, you run this back. Mikael Williams leads the chase for Newcastle, and Rovers will start 20 out from their own posts. 8 minutes until half time, with Rovers in control. 2 games to go, remember, after this. Away at Toulouse and home against Widnes, and then, well, who knows what happens in the final series. Moores had Gadwin Springer with him, and he's still going, Junior Moores. He's looking for someone to offload, and there was no one up with him. That was Junior Moores at his best, picked up by Wildy. John Davis now attacking the line, and JD does that so well. He's through the line, but then grounded. Last tackle, quick play they want. 20 away, left side. Brad Day. Connor Jones steps back inside, offloads forward, and it's picked up by Newcastle. And Thunder will start on their own 20. Hello to our friend John Denton. Great listening to the best rugby of either code being played tonight. I would agree with that, John. Cheers, Georgie boy, as always. And Featherstone looking good for the win. And hello to Flat Capper Dave as well. Good commentary, George. As ever, the boys cruising now. I've got my ticket for the club for Toulouse as well. See you in the club, Dave. See you there next weekend. Still a job to be done tonight. 6 or 7 minutes of this half and an entire second half to get through. Rovers looking to build momentum right when it matters. Newcastle in possession on halfway, working right to left. The two halfbacks come out, and that's gone 10 metres forward. Blimey, you won't see a pass more forward than that all season. Wow, that was incredible. Now, just when I said no injuries, please, I'm looking down, and Gadwin Springer is being helped off, and that is not a good sign. Gadwin Springer is coming off to this near side. He does not look good. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, Rovers could have well done without that. Medical staff coming round the pitch to help Gadwin. Now, I hope that's just a dead leg. But he's in a bad way, Gadwin Springer. And the Rovers staff coming around the perimeter to attend to Gadwin Springer. So that is a setback. Gadwin Springer is being carried, and this is going to take some time round the perimeter here at Kingston Park. I'll try and keep you updated on that. That's a setback the Rovers could have well done without. Just as I was saying, no injuries, please. Gadwin Springer hobbles off. He's had a great impact. I hope that's a dead leg and nothing more serious, but we're going to see. So Rovers have lost Springer, but they're leading the game 22-0. Davis. Akins spins and he's half tackled. Brad Day. The 5 away left side. It's gone over the head of Thomas Lacan, picked up by Mathieu Kozar, who straightens up and just attacks the line. Still a couple to play with here. Wildy goes right. Akins pops up and gives it to Lacan. Floats it over to Craig Hall in the corner. It's another scintillating Rovers try. The miss-out pass. Craig Hall clinging onto his touchline. And Rovers extend their lead. It's 26-0. 5th try of the night. And Craig Hall helps himself to 4 more. So Craig Hall gets his first try of the night. Gareth Gale with a hat-trick. Matcha Kozak got the other. 26-0 with a kick to come. And around about 4 minutes or so till the break. But the worrying sign of Gadwin Springer being helped around the outside of the pitch. And he's not moving at all well. That's a real concern. Craig Hall from the touchline. Oh, he's kicked another beauty from the touchline. Just the one miss. He's kicked 4 of 5, Craig Hall, and scored a try. And Rovers have a 28-0 lead late in the second half. So Rovers in firm control. Concerning injury to the big man. Get news of that when we can afterwards, but focusing on the matter in hand is Gareth Gale. Hat-trick to his name already. Wildy, Chisholm running into traffic. Keep your messages coming. Hello to Craig, Sarah, Anne and Jeff, listening in Fuerteventura, and to the Lingards tuning in. Great to hear from you. And hello to Joanne and Aston, listening at home in Featherstone, up the Rovers. Thank you, Joanne. Great to hear from you. Thanks for all of you tuning in tonight. Here come Rovers. Great half from James Ford's men, but a knock-on halfway will give Newcastle a spell of possession late on in this first half. The applause you might be able to hear on the far side is for Gadwin Springer, who's only just made his way over to the far side. That's how slow he's had to walk around the pitch. Newcastle in possession from the scrum, attacking the Rovers' left edge. Donaghy in field to Jay Chaplow. They're 40 out. Working right to left, Nico Williams. Balmforth takes it on. They're going to get a penalty here. So a good opportunity at the end of the first half for the home side. Here come Newcastle in straight through. They'll score just before the break. Balmforth is the man showing a dumming and sprinting through. And the hosts are on the board. 28 points to 4 on the stroke of half time. Right on the stroke of half time. So finally something for the home fans to cheer. Deneve Balmforth on the half-time hooter. And Chris Thorman, the Newcastle head coach, makes his way down from his commentary position right with us here. And James Ford does the same, the Rovers head coach. He'll be disappointed with that. 28-4 with this kick to come. Equidistant between touchline and posts. to give Newcastle 2 more at the break. Been a good half, that aside. Concerning injury to Gadwin Springer aside. And they do convert. So Newcastle finish with a flourish. Don't go anywhere. We'll bring you the second half live as well.
Successful conversion by Newcastle.
With the host hitting back, but at half-time Rovers in control. We'll be back in 10 minutes or so with Rovers leaving, or leading even, 28 points to 6.
Newcastle number 6, Featherstone Rovers 28.
Welcome back. Second half imminent. We've got a home side. Still awaiting the visitors from Featherstone Rovers. 28-6 at the break. Hat-trick for Gareth Gale, Matthew Kozza and Craig Hall in the corner. The other scorers. Craig Hall's been pretty good from the kicking tee as well. He's missed 1 out of 5. And Newcastle scoring right on the stroke of half-time. A converted effort from Bamforth. So 28-6. Here come Rovers. Decent bit of noise from the Rovers fans who've travelled.
And there's some noise from this evening. Featherstone Rovers.
And let's see what we've got in store second half. Hopefully no more injuries. If you did miss some of the coverage, the bit of concern over Gadwin Springer, who has gone off with an injury. We'll await further news on that. As the 2 head coaches make their way up this main stand. Chris Thorman, the Newcastle head coach, who's running the Great North Run on Sunday. Good luck, Chris. Telling me he's hoping for an hour and a half, so he's quite a runner. And James Ford making his way up as well, the Rovers head coach, for the second half of this one under the lights at Kingston Park on a Friday night in Newcastle. 2 regular season games to go after this one for Rovers, confirmed as league leaders, but wanting to have as much momentum, as much form as possible heading into the final series. Here comes John Davies, first carry back for Rovers at the start of this second half. Wildy, there's Craig Hall. Try and 4 goals for Hall tonight, playing on the right wing. There's Wildy. Mathieu Kozza, try scorer as well, the Frenchman. Takes it up the middle. Rovers up to 30 from their own line. Here's Junior Moores. Had one great break first half, but no one on hand to take the offload. Moores grounded in the football centre circle. Here's Lacan, pops it up for Elijah Taylor, and E.T. powers over halfway. Good opening set of the half from Rovers. Last tackle. So they'll be coming back for a kick from Thomas Lacan. Oh, he's taken late. Is he the referee happy enough? That was played at. Oh, and a knock on by the fullback. This is good for Rovers. Here's Craig Hall. What a start to the second half this could be. Taken on the first bounce by Connor Jones. Dummies back inside Connor Jones. And eventually halted in his tracks. But Rovers have a full set from here. 15 away, just to the left of the sticks. Really slow play of the ball. Wildy comes left. That's where Dane Chisholm pops up. Short ball to Brad Day. Back to Chisholm. Still going back in field. Finds Kozar again. He's over the line, spinning backwards. This time he is held up. And Newcastle do their defensive duty. So Rovers will come back 10. And play the ball. Good bit of noise from the Rovers fans. A small pocket of them just behind the post to our right. There goes Elijah Taylor, then Thomas Lacan. Caleb Aiken's running out of support, so he goes to ground in front of the post. 15 away with Wildy. Lacan with a dummy. And Thomas Lacan just short of the line, right side. Wildy, will he go on his own? Wildy, short ball, Elijah Taylor. And E.T. scores the first try of the second half to extend the Featherstone lead. 32-6 with a kick to come. And it's Elijah Taylor. So Rovers punish that handling error from the Newcastle fullback and extend their lead. Elijah Taylor's third try in 16 games this season. And a perfect start to the second half. Do let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. Special hello as well to Dale and Chelsea, who are watching with the family. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying this. Craig Hall, well, he set it out to the right and it's faded in. Another successful 2 points from the boot of Craig Hall. 5 from 6 tonight, 34-6 is the Featherstone lead. And we've had 4 minutes of this second half. Newcastle with only pride to play for from here on in. We need a ball for a start. Eventually a spare ball is located and we're ready to go again. Newcastle will be well versed in the kickoff tonight. There's another one. Caleb Akins. Back at fullback tonight, the halfback. Mark Corella named on the bench. Used sparingly if at all. Wildy waits. Will he play a full 80 tonight? Skipper for the night, James Lockwood, not travelling. There goes Brad Day, the former Newcastle man, clattering into the collision. 40 out from the Rovers line. Wildy goes left. Dane Chisholm takes it on. Little break from Chisholm. Couldn't get the ball away. Wildy was back inside him. Dane held on. Wildy. John Davis gives it to Mathieu Kozar. Puts himself in reverse and goes to ground. Centrally, 30 away. Wildy Davis. Back with Thomas Lacan. Longstaff, Craig Hall. Bit of momentum got out of this attack. Hall will be held. Rovers 20 away. Couple to go this set. They're just right of the post with Wildy over the ball. Back in field to Lacan. Junior Moore's on his left shoulder. Floats one to Dane Chisholm. Thinks about a kick. Promotes to Akins. Brad Day takes it on. Still going. Drops it out of the back. Back to Dane Chisholm. Now then Junior Moore's. Stutter step and the handoff. Junior still going. Eventually grounded in front of the post. Still they come, Rovers, with Wildy. Dane Chisholm, little grubber kick through. Brad Day, was he taken out? They're going to have to shovel that behind. They made a mess of it. Could be a try. That looks like a howler from Newcastle. They got there first. And Brad Day, back on his old stomping ground, gets an absolute gift. Newcastle should have thrown it into the stands. They've thrown it to Brad Day. And Rovers have another one. (38-6) with a kick to come. 7th try of the night for Rovers. And this could now be a cricket score tonight. A very hot evening in Newcastle. Rovers flexing their muscles, racking up the points. Craig Hall standing over the kicking tee once more. He's just missed the one this evening. Ten metres or so to the left of the post, Craig Hall. Oh, he's missed one.
Successful conversion takes a score in Newcastle from the 6, Featherstone Rovers 38.
So Craig Hall misses his second of the night, just put it wide. And it remains 38 points to 6. 5 from 7 from the boot of Craig Hall. So tonight's try scorers: hat-trick for Gareth Gale, Craig Hall, Kozar, Brad Day and Elijah Taylor. Oh, they've gone out on the full. Big error from the restart from Newcastle. Featherstone will get the ball back on halfway. That's the kind of error that absolutely destroys a coach. Chris Thorman will not be happy with that one. Dane Chisholm, with a penalty on halfway, will hoof one into touch and set up another Featherstone Rovers attack here. Again, we're shy of a ball here. We need a ball boy or two on duty. Eventually we're back underway. Rovers are going to tap on the 20-metre line with ET. And here is Tom Alakan. John Davis hitting the line like John Davis does. Setting up this 20 out right in front of the post. Wildy, bit of afters with John Davis. Wildy comes right. Lacan feeds ET. Taylor grounded 10 away. Wildy, Lacan outside him, comes back inside. Junior Moores with ball in hand. Good soft hands. Dane Chisholm. Caleb Akins gets the ball away. Not sure Gareth Gale wanted that. Connor Jones fells himself there. Just slips and goes to ground. It's back with Dane Chisholm. More central with Kozar. Right in front of the post, Rovers. Hungry for another. Wildy has a glance left, a glance right. Chisholm changes direction, goes back left. That's where Wildy done. He's seen him. Gives it to Dane Chisholm. Shows the dummy. And another. Still with Dane Chisholm. But he's dumped on his back and Rovers get a penalty. The noise you can hear from the Rovers fans behind the sticks. Didn't like that. And it will be a Featherstone Rovers penalty. I think the Rovers fans wanted a card from the official. Haven't got one. Wildy will tap. Junior Moores waits, goes behind him to Mathieu Kozar, promotes to John Davis. Right at the line. Matty Wildy. Back left he comes. Tom Alakan gives it to Junior Moores. Gets the legs pumping. He's held up on the line, is Junior. Wildy's there. Could go either way here. He looks left where Brad Day waits. And then runs behind, gives it to Dane Chisholm, who again dances out of the tackle but gets caught in it. So that comes to nothing. Wildy. It's with Moores again, seeing a lot of the ball. Flat ball to Mathieu Kozar. Spins. Wants a quick play. I'm not sure he played that properly, did he? They're going to carry on. It's with Lacan. It's with Akins. And it's another stroll for Craig Hall, who steps inside the last man and gets his second of the evening. And Rovers have try number 8 of the night. 2 for Craig Hall, 42-6. Here's the Featherstone Rovers lead. And they were queuing up for that one. Craig Hall or Gareth Gale could end tonight as Rovers' top point scorer of the season, with Mark Corella not being involved so far. Mark Corella is the Rovers' leading point scorer, but not for much longer the way this is going. In fact, Craig Hall's only 2 behind. He's got a kick to come. So this could put him level. Rovers in the mood tonight. Tough night for Newcastle. We're right behind this one from Craig Hall. He's taking it back about 22 metres. It's 3 or 4 metres in from this near touch line. He's kicked another beauty. Doesn't miss many in a row. 44 points to 6. 2 tries, 6 goals for Craig Hall tonight. And having spent most of the season out of the side, Craig Hall is still providing the points. Let's see if Newcastle can keep this restart on the field of play. 44 points to 6. We've had, by my watch, 13 minutes of the second half. That's a better restart. Akins takes it on the full, gives it to John Davies, who's knocked on, and here come Newcastle. They might score straight away. Boafo in the corner to score right from the restart. How about that from Newcastle? John Davies took the carry, spilled it, and Gideon Boafo did the rest. And Newcastle hit double figures. Sloppy that from Fev. Great finish from the Newcastle winger. Still needed finishing.
It is sponsored by Newcastle Transport Limited.
And Nico Williams, kick 1 from 1 so far. This one from this near touch line. Kicking on the 20. A couple of metres in from the touch line. Oh, got a great deal of room to run up. In fact, he's telling the cameraman to move. Here he comes, Williams. Looks like he's pulled it to me, and he has. So 44-10 it remains. But another 4-pointer on the board for the hosts. Quarter of an hour into this second half. Now have Rovers gone out on the full where they've gone very deep. The Newcastle man took it on the full, clattered into his teammate, who probably kept him in the field of play. Might have carried that out. So 44-10. 8 tries for Rovers tonight. The negative, of course, that Gadwin Springer injury, which we'll only find out the severity of a little bit later on. As soon as I know, you'll know. Do keep your messages coming on FRTV. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Williams charged down by Davis, and Wildy's after this. But it's Newcastle who get there first. And that's going to be the turnover. The referee said it wasn't played up by Davis, who turned his back. It went all the way back to the Newcastle 20. Newcastle got there first, but Featherstone got there in the tackles, and that is going to be the turnover, says the referee. So Rovers are going to have a full set from here, and they're up and running with Wildy, Chisholm, Brad Day, try scorer tonight on his return to Kingston Park. Wildy in front of the post, got Kozar on his shoulder, gives it to Junior Moores, Davis. Grounded in front of the sticks, 5 away with Wildy. Oh, the ball's gone to ground, that's a mess, that's a knock on from Rovers. And that's a shame from a great opportunity, great field position. And Newcastle will get us back underway from the scrum. Thanks to all of you who've got in touch tonight, especially about the technical issues. Hopefully they are rectified for the run-in. Nothing I can do about that, of course, but certainly alert us to any issues we may have while we bring the game to you. And more defending now for Rovers to do. Newcastle on their 20. They've scored 2 tries against this Rovers defence tonight. James Ford, I'm sure, won't want to concede any more. Rovers bench obviously depleted by that Springer injury. Just 3 interchanges on it. And of course, we've not seen Mark Corella. Well, that's a strange old kick on the last, very high. It's almost gone backwards off the bounce, and then they've knocked on off it. It's an awful end to the set from Newcastle. A kick that went backwards, which was then knocked on. So this will be Rovers' ball on halfway. So we approach the midway point of this second half. Gareth Gale takes it on. Hat-trick tonight. Here's Matty Wildy. Looks like he might play the whole game. Mathieu Koza also on the score sheet. Here he goes. It's with Wildy again. Right side he comes to Thomas Lacan. Ellis Longstaff still going right to left, looking for a gap and then sliding and slipping and going to ground in a central position, 25 metres from the Newcastle line. Wildy's there, gives it to Junior Moores. Good stint this from the big man. Moores offloads. Caleb Aikens now attacking the line, dinking through it and offloading himself. Dane Chisholm thinks about going left, goes right, puts a beautiful kick in, and Longstaff will pick it up and score. Dane Chisholm made that beautiful grubber kick. And Longstaff picked it up, and Rovers have try number 9 of the night. And this gives Craig Hall a kick to give Rovers a half century. And it's right in front of the sticks. And that was about Dane Chisholm's patience there. Had a glance around. Realised Rovers had runners. Threaded a beauty of a kick through. And Rovers were on hand to add 4 more to the scoreboard. First try for Featherstone for Ellis Longstaff in the centres tonight. Not the first points from this man. Craig Hall adding another 2 to his tally. And Rovers have 50. With 20 minutes or so to go. Looks like Junior Moore's stint is at an end. He's gone off. Wildy. Dan Smith back out there. Craig Kopczak too. Wildy. There's Gale. Last quarter of the game. It's going to be a big Rovers win. There's a high shot. Gave himself up, to be fair, the Newcastle man, and the referee awards the penalty. And Wildy's, Chisholm, I beg your pardon, has already found touch over on the far side. So another attack incoming. Jones takes it, gives it to Chisholm, and here goes Craig Kopczak. Wildy over it. Smith are stacking up this right side. He goes back left, finds Dane Chisholm again. Creator of that most recent try, Brad Days. Dumped on his back. Rovers fans didn't like that. Referee did. That's all that matters. Chisholm. Smith running the line. Koza got there in support, but he's been grounded. 20 away in front of the post. Options right and left for Wildy. He's going to come back right. He's going to run on his own, Matty Wildy. He's almost there. He might have scored. Matty Wildy stretches out and gives Rovers another. He danced away from dummy half, Wildy. And the defence came too little too late. Dumped the ball over the line. And Rovers have 4 more. Tenth try of the night. And Rovers are now stretching clear. And James Ford might have seen enough. The Rovers head coach is already making his way back across the pitch, in fact, over to the far side. 17 minutes to go, but James Ford's had enough of our company. He's going back over the far side. Big win for his team tonight. He won't like that Gadwin Springer injury, but that's what you build a squad for. Another 2 from the boot of Craig Hall. 56 points to 10. The Rovers lead.
Successful conversion takes a score of Newcastle from the 10. Featherstone Rovers 56.
4th try in 24 games this year for Matty Wildy. Newcastle restart once more. Akins takes it. Here's Craig Chopshack. (56-10). A quarter of an hour or so to go. Wildy. Smith. Wildy again. Kopczak on the charge. Wildy. Chisholm's going to kick early, looking for a 40-20. Straight down the fullback's throat. Now the Newcastle man's got an injury. Looks like cramp, actually, in back play.
It's James Ford for Newcastle. Thunder leading the field, number 13. Connor Bailey coming on for his Newcastle Thunder debut. Number 41, Nathan Rushworth.
There's a home debut for Nathan Rushworth for the Thunder. Who are in possession on halfway. Balfourth promotes it. Simmons was there too. A rare bit of defending for Rovers to do. The final quarter of an hour of this one. Mikael Williams with a step. Oh, he's done well there, ran into traffic, still going, gets the ball away too. They're going to attack down this near left-hand side. Boafo, the try scorer, wants, he's got it. Will he go all the way past Longstaff, offloads inside. It's still picked up. Might be a try here for Newcastle. They're just short, a couple of metres short on the last tackle, right in this left corner. So they'll come all the way back. Williams will kick, I'm sure, for the post. It's not played out, it's come off the ankles of Dan Smith, and Rovers have collected. So they do defend their line. Hello to our friend Dave Fowler, who's listening tonight in Ipswich. Many thanks for the shouts over the season, says Dave. Great to hear from you, my friend. Last tackle, Rovers. Dane Chisholm runs out of the tackle, gets the kick away. Tries to buy a penalty, referee wise to it. Here come Newcastle on the kick return. It's a good one. Great work from the fullback, Alex Donaghy. Trying to point to Gideon Boafo where he wanted him, but he's got his side up to the Rovers 40 here. Decent little spell for the hosts. Evan Simons. Nical Williams shrugs off Dane Chisholm with ease. Goes to the right and continue their attack. The purple shirt starting to swarm late in the day. 12 minutes to go by my watch. Newcastle 20 out from the Rovers line. Oh, and they burst the line, and they could get there if they timed the pass to Boafo right. I think they waited too long, but he still got there. Great finishing from the winger. Second of the night for Gideon Boafo, and the Thunder have another. Newcastle 14, Rovers 56.
For Newcastle, Thunder's driving in a second for Thunder's number 20, Gideon Boafo.
It's been a tough old season for Newcastle, but they're finishing this one well. Boafo just delayed, cut back inside. And the left winger has 2 tries tonight. Nical Williams has another kick on the 20-metre line, 8 to 9 metres in from this near touch line. 56-14 plus this. He's drilled it low. Oh, and it just stays. Thought it was going to fade that, but it just stays. It's straightened at the last.
Number 7, Nical Williams. Nical, sponsored by MMG Sports.
So 56 points to 16.
Texas scored at Newcastle, Thunder 16, Featherstone Rovers 56.
Rovers make another change. I think Matty Wildy has gone off, so I wondered if he was going to play 80 tonight. But Matty Wildy's made his way off. John Davis is on. Is he going to play 9? Let's see. Rovers restart. Newcastle leaving it to each other there. Eventually it's plucked out of the air on their own goal line. And another spell of possession for the Newcastle Thunder, who've rallied well under this Rovers onslaught tonight. And they're offloading as well in the tackle twice. They fancy there's more points for them here. 56-16. Last tackle, Newcastle on their own 40-metre line. Williams goes low in between fullback and wing. Craig Hall picks it up off the second bounce, and he'll bring it back himself. He's running right to left, and the chaser's got him. So Rovers start on the 20 here with Chisholm, and then Gareth Gale driving up the middle. Can hear Dane Chisholm calling plays out there. Davis, he is playing 9. There he is, Davis to Maciej Koza. Shows a dummy to Dan Smith and takes the tackle himself. In the centre circle, approaching halfway, Davis. Tom Alakan back inside to Craig Kopczak. Almost loses the ball. And then he's grounded. It's the last tackle. Rovers right on halfway with Davis. Lacan under pressure, gets the kick away. Goes high, but starting position from Alex Donaghy is fine. And Newcastle bring it back. Final few minutes of this one. The double try scorer for the host, Boafo. Craig Hall's got a couple for Rovers. Hat-trick for Gareth Gale tonight. Wildy, Kozad, Day, Elijah Taylor all scoring. Here come Newcastle again. Throwing the ball around now, the hosts. A good, strong carry down this near left-hand side from Marcus Walker. Williams, the back over on the right-hand side now. Taking the game to Rovers, and Newcastle are through again. And they're throwing the ball around again. They're going to score again. It's going to be Williams under the post. That's a terrific try from Newcastle. All the way from left to right. And Nico Williams in support scores under the post. Newcastle have scored 20 with a kick to come. And the kick to come's under the post. He can add 2 to that. So Rovers just starting to leak a few points here. 56-20 with this to come under the sticks. It's not going to impact the outcome of the contest, of course, but food for thought for the head coach James Ford on the drive back tonight. Good try that from Newcastle. Ripped Rovers apart down their right wing. And Williams, to convert his own score under the post, does just that. 56-22, shade over 5 minutes to go. Craig Hall gives the ball a welly. And here come Newcastle once more. And it's the hosts finishing the stronger here. So Mark Corella hasn't been used. Gadwin Springer injured, of course, so only been a 2-man interchange really from Rovers. Matty Wildy's had a long stint, he's off. John Davies back out there. So they're doing it a little bit tough at the end of this game, Rovers. Last 5 minutes, Williams, try scorer. And they're up to the Rovers 40 again. It's the last tackle over on that right side for Newcastle. Williams has the ball. He's going to go really high. Craig Hall gave the shout, takes it comfortably, and then sidesteps Barmforth well. And Hall is grounded on his own 20-metre line. Last 4 minutes. Rovers just want to get this one done now. Davis. Caleb Akins takes it on. There goes Dan Smith. Davis again. Last tackle, Rovers on halfway. Lacan under pressure, stays down. Touch judges on, I think he might get this one. And there's a bit of afters, Dan Smith getting involved. Tom Lacan has stayed down under the kick pressure there. Rovers have got the penalty here, and Lacan's now being assessed. So maybe we will see Mark Corella for the last 3 minutes or so. It's a thumbs up though, Lacan's all right. So Rovers have the penalty. Longstaff with his ripped shirt, he's had one of his numbers and most of all his letters ripped off that shirt tonight. Here's Kopczak. Can Rovers find the last score of the game? They conceded 22, which is not ideal, but another try and they've scored 60, and you'll win any game with that, of course. Chisholm, Akins, Day, good sliding defence from Thunder. Rovers are in deep in that left corner under the floodlights. Back to Dane Chisholm, takes it on the half volley, gives it to Dan Smith. Got Matthew Kozza inside him, dancing around, looking for a gap in the defence, but he's halted in his tracks, loses a couple of metres there. They're 20 out now, left of the post, Rovers, with a couple of minutes to go. Kozza, Lecan, shows the dummy to E.T. Akins, slicing down, couple to go this set. John Davies pushes Elijah Taylor out of the way, says this is my job. Lecan delays the ball, gives it to Kopczak, puts himself in reverse and carries 4 Newcastle jerseys with him. It's the last tackle in front of the post. Davis comes left. Lecan, what will he do? He's going to float one. Looking for Longstaff. It's been put into touch by who? It's going to be off a Rovers hand. It's going to be Newcastle ball into the last couple of minutes of the game. 56-22, Rovers. Last minute. We'll bring you post-match reaction on all our social channels and on FRTV in full. I'll get down there on the pitch, speak to the players and the head coach, find out about that Gadwin Springer injury. Newcastle's head coach Chris Thorman's seen enough. His focus now turns to the Great North Run on Sunday. Good luck, Chris. His side have put 22 on the board tonight, and they're in possession. Rovers will know they've been in a game tonight, that's for sure. They've been tougher to beat, Newcastle, than their bottom of the table position would suggest. It's a loose one, but picked up on the first bounce. They're still in possession here. But that will be the final play of the game. Tackle complete. Matthew Kozza finishes with the ball in his hand. And it finishes. Newcastle 22, Rovers 56. Featherstone march on. 2 games of the regular season to go. Toulouse away next Saturday. Don't forget, we will be streaming that match. If you're not going to the south of France, we'll stream that in the clubhouse next Saturday. Join me for that. And then Widnes at home when we'll get the League Leaders Shield. 2 games to go and then the fun stuff in the playoffs. Thanks for your support again tonight. Rovers have won it 56-22 and we'll see you next time. Good night. Let's get some reaction. Bags of points for Rovers tonight. Craig Hall got most of them. They gave you a tough run there tonight, Craig.
Yeah, you know, they're not easy at home. If you look at the results this year, they've ran teams close and teams have just won late on and they've beat a few here. So we knew it was going to be a test, which was good with, you know, the changes that we had in our squad today. It's good for everyone to get a run.
Did you know you were in a game tonight? The league table, like you intimated there, doesn't really matter where Newcastle are concerned because they are dangerous here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a nice wide pitch, it's a nice fast pitch and they can break anywhere. So I thought first half our D was, you know, outstanding. I thought it was unlucky on the bell, obviously, to let one in, but it was 6-0 up after about 20 minutes on it, something like that. So, you know, Gaz did well to finish his 3 tries and we built on it a bit. I think last 10-15 minutes let ourselves down, but definitely stride forward, I think. And
how much are you enjoying your spell back in this side?
Yeah, loving it. Obviously, it was unfortunate for Briss to get an injury, but you know, I said it in the fan zone. We've got great depth in squad, and I was always going to be, you know, ready to put the shirt back on.
And a quick word on this mob who've made the long trip up from Featherstone on a Friday night. Terrific again.
Yeah, awesome. Obviously, the followers everywhere. It was a long trip on it today with the roadworks and that, and hopefully it'll be a bit longer back. I told Mr. I'll be home about 4.
Cheers, Craig.
See you later.
Matty Wildy led the side tonight. How was that for you? Looked tough.
Yeah, it was. I think all credit to us. I think we played really well tonight. we've made some real good positive strides in the way we want to play and attack, and yeah, we were a bit loose towards that back end of that second half and let a bit too many points in that we'd like to, so that's a work on for us.
In a way, are they kind of no-win fixtures, these? People look at the table, think first against bottom, and actually Newcastle are a pretty good team here at home.
Yeah, we obviously they've got all their points at home, so we knew it was going to be a tough task, and we had to be on our game tonight to make sure we came away with a result, and I thought we did that.
What you don't want this season is injuries. There was just one, Gadwin Springer, one of your key pack going off. We don't know the extent of that now, but you know, we wish him the best, don't we?
Yeah, hopefully it's not too bad and we can see him in and he gets right for the playoffs. He's a big key personnel for us, and yeah, hopefully we can get him back soon.
And how much are you enjoying it when you get the chance to lead this side like you did tonight?
All of it. It's a real honour and a real privilege to lead this team, and yeah, obviously we get Lockie back next week, so yeah, another positive for us.
Thanks for speaking to us. Good stuff tonight.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Let's have a word on familiar territory with Brad Day, talking to his old mates. How has that been back here?
Yeah, good performance, wasn't it, the first half. We're really happy with that. We knew we had to come here, and because they're playing well at home. So I know it was a bit tight last week with Toulouse, but I thought the first half was really clinical, and then the second half, I think it's a bit disappointing from us, but we keep building, and then we're on to Toulouse next week.
What is the key? I mean, building's a good word. What is the key at this point in the season? You don't want to see injuries like the one that Gadwin Springer went off with, but you can't slacken off because you need to hit that board running, don't you, for the finals?
Yeah, exactly. We need to get ready for player footy. I know last week were a tough game, like I mentioned. Bradford will probably be in those playoffs, so that's the sort of intensity we need to be playing at, and that's in training as well between us, because everyone's fighting for spots. Everyone wants to play for the club, and everyone wants to get that promotion at the end. So we just need to keep training hard and yeah, just keep working. And
do you feel you are gelling? Do you feel you are moving? Do you feel you are improving? Because yes, it's been a long year, but in terms of James Ford being head coach, you're still in its infancy.
Yeah, definitely. But like I mentioned before, he hasn't changed too much. He knows where we've been good, and he wants to add certain things. And I think the lads are starting to get on board with that, and it's starting to prove dividends as well.
And a final word from you: do you enjoy being back here? Do you enjoy playing against your old mates?
I enjoyed winning and enjoyed scoring, yes.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. See you later.
James, a big scoreline, points for both sides. What was your synopsis?
Yeah, obviously happy to get the win. I spent all week talking up Newcastle to the players and to anybody who listened. Really, the results here have been good all season, specifically back end of the season. So we knew we'd be tested. We came to get the points. We came to show some improvements in some areas, and I feel like we did. I thought our response to errors, our response to things going against us were much stronger. Which was really pleasing, because in semi-finals and in finals, things can go against you, and you need to be strong to manage your way out of that. So I was really pleased with that. I thought our shape and ball movement is the best I've seen it. Since I've been here, scored some really nice tries. I thought we added a much more degree of control and patience and get them next play mentality in terms of our offload stuff. So yeah, lots to be pleased about. I do feel like we're making progress. Obviously, a little bit disappointing to concede a couple of tries, back end. Lots of new combinations out there. In the centres, halves, back rower slots, and I thought Newcastle eventually found a way to crack them there. So we'll have a good look at that and make sure we're better next week against Toulouse.
A word on Newcastle. They're far better, especially here, than their league position would suggest.
Oh, absolutely. They obviously took Toulouse 75 minutes to get them off the tail. Chris is a really good coach. I played for Chris. I know him really well. Absolutely lives and breathes rugby league. And Newcastle are really lucky to have him. And I'm really confident that if Chris gets the support that all coaches need, he can do a really good job for Newcastle next year in League One, and they'll bounce back.
The main negative, probably the injury tonight to Gadwin Springer. He won't have been properly assessed yet, but what are the first instincts about what he might have done?
He's popped his calf. Obviously, it's a blow for us that, because Gadwin's he's an enormous player for us. He came off the bench against Sheffield and swung the game our way, and today he came off the bench at 6-0 and made an immediate impact. He's a really good player, is Gadwin, and a great bloke too. So obviously we'll do everything we can to get him back as soon as we can. But what I do know is he's a great professional. When Gadwin's fit and ready to go, he'll be competing for a place in the 17.
So fingers crossed we get Gadwin back before the end of the season. I'm a bit wary that they're turning the lights out on us. So we'll wrap up with a word. First of all, on the fans who made a long trip on a Friday night and made an incredible amount of noise.
They did. Honestly, they're great. Obviously, I've said it a few times, coached against Fev. They always travel in numbers, they make loads of noise, they get behind the boys. There's one up there, Danny DeVito. But yeah, they're great. It's great to be on their side again, and I'm looking forward to continuing that.
And a big running on both fronts, really. 2 regular season games to go in the final series for the men, but a big finish for the women's Rovers team too.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of the girls' games up at Barrow. I thought they were good, and then I went to watch them against Cass at the Jungle, and they were just far too good for Castleford. And I believe if they're like I say, they're in a real good spot for promotion. So everybody who's available and Featherstone fan, get your sin down to Post Office Road and cheer the girls on.
Cheers, James.
Thank you.